just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see you through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feeling so right. With diet-free life, the health features lose by.
What's up, everybody? This is Robert Ferguson, Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson, and this is Diet Free Life with Robert. I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Now, for those of you who are participating in our 8-week challenge, I want to say congratulations. Keep going. I'm not going to talk about that. This presentation, in my opinion, is one of the most important presentations I've ever done. Okay, one of the most. The reason why I say that is because I believe inside of the next 30 minutes, I will share information with you that you didn't know, or you knew a little bit, but you're going to know more. And I believe if you pay close attention to this, it'll put you in a position where you can additionally, because I believe most of you guys are working hard to live your best and healthiest life, but additionally, add quality to your life by improving a part of your health that is not talked about. Now, everything I'm going to share with you is backed up. Some of the references, which let me just read through a few of them for you. And there's an article. If you look under the descriptions, I did write an article. So every time I provide any type of information that pertains to health, weight loss, those things, I like to accompany an article there so you can print it out. Then you can take it to your doctor. Please share with your doctor, because I'm getting more and more people sharing the things that I do with their doctors, and the doctors I'm hearing from them. I mean, I'm thankful. The doctors are saying, hey, thanks for getting this out there. Hey, this is a great read. And some of these physicians have become my personal clients, and some of them have really bought into how we can make a difference with things that their hands are tied with. And that may make sense as we go forward. But everything I'm going to share with you is backed up, substantiated by the American Heart Association, the National Institute of Health, the Framingham Heart Study, for those of you nerds like me, Diabetes and Metabolism Journal, the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, the European Heart Journal, Harvard Public School, and American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. And there's more, but everything I'm sharing with you is supported by that. And as I share with you, I'll talk about why this is new to you and why your doctor hasn't shared this with you. Because I talked to 7 of my physician friends and I asked them, why do you guys not talk about cholesterol, specifically HDL? H as in hemoglobin, Henry, D as in Delta, and L as in Larry or Lawrence, right? So we're talking about high density lipoprotein. So when you hear about your cholesterol, and I'm going to walk you through this, most of the time when your cholesterol is too high, you hear that when you get your lab work. And I'm going to show you what some of that looks like. And the majority of the time, your doctor is going to talk about your LDL cholesterol. Because that's where the push is to get you on statins, etc. But very rarely, if ever, does the doctor talk anything about the HDL cholesterol. And in this presentation, you're going to have a better understanding of why, which is kind of sad. But the good news is that I have good news. I'm going to share with you something that you can do right now, today, and I'm telling you, share it with your doctor. They will appreciate it. Okay, what I'm about to share with you Okay. I have 32 of my clients in the last year. I pulled their files. I had their lab work, like before I had them do certain things. And then I have their lab work after they did certain things. And we saw a significant improvement with HDL. Now, if I do a good job, and what I'm about to share with you, if someone encouraged you to watch this video, you can reach out to them to learn how to do what my clients have done across the board. Major improvements. I've never seen anything like this. And today, when I talk to 7 different physicians, I share with them what I have experienced, and they trust me and know me. And all of them were like, I need to know more. This is amazing. I've never seen anything like what I'm sharing with you as it pertains to HDL cholesterol. Now, some of you know that that's important. Okay. Then you have the LDL. We're going to talk about HDL. Most of the time, you're going to hear people say that HDL is the good thing. Okay. So HDL. So let's think of HDL as the good guy that's going to help you out, even though your doctors don't talk about it. And the main reason why your doctors don't talk about it is because they don't have concrete recommendations on how to increase it. So the higher your HDL, the better. And I'm going to walk you through the health benefits as well as the preventative benefits when your HDL goes up. So instead of just looking at the bad guy, the thing that continuously is called the bad guy, LDL, which is a whole nother conversation, we're going to talk about the HDL. And why I'm excited is because of what I'm seeing with my clients. I've never seen anything like this, and I have lab work to prove it. And when you have lab work, nobody can argue. So for those of you who are younger and you care about your parents or your grandparents, pay close attention. Seriously. If some of you have high blood pressure and you're concerned with your health and you're watching all these younger people in their 40s and 50s and 60s, blood clots and heart attacks and strokes come out, pay attention. I've been in this space for 30 years, okay? 30 years. Now, I know that don't mean anything because you could be a basketball coach for 30 years and get beat by a guy who's a brand new coach. But I've done some really good work. So let me do my best, and I hope I do a good job so that you say, okay, I know something that I didn't know, and I'm going to do something about it. Okay, that's my goal. Now, the goal in the presentation is to help you understand and to help you believe in what I present. Now, I added this slide after talking to one of my physician buddies, one of my dear friends who I respect. I think the world of her. She's a Harvard physician, amazing person who cares about her patients, and she sees the work that I'm doing. We get along great, but we bump heads a lot. Right? But I know she cares, and I walk away learning things from her, and I feel she learns things from me. And that's what it's all about. It's taking people from different genres and specialties and coming together so we can give you guys the best of the best. Okay, so the goal here, as I'm sharing this, is to help you understand and to help you believe. Now, being in the space for 30 years, I bring up this slide just because, well, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just wanting to impress upon you that I've been in the game for a while. I've done clinical trials. I have worked with and continue to work with many Fortune 20 companies. I continue to serve on the Presidential Task Force on Obesity for the National Medical Association. It's been around over 100 years. I stick with I stay compliant with the U.S. dietary guidelines. I'm not in full agreement, but I do stay in compliance because I work with institutionalized, organizations that have to adhere to that. And we've been able to be very successful. And I do keep with the best practices of the CDC. And I've done work with Let's Move. And I want to work with everybody and anybody who wants to help make a difference. So anyway, I just show this clip just because I'm not a guy that just woke up last week and decided he wants to start helping people and share this information. That's why I opened up and share with you the references. Everything is substantiated. I've been doing this for 30 years. This is new information. So open your mind and let's have a good time. Now, in short, we have HDL cholesterol, which is considered the good cholesterol. I've never liked that word. Even writing my first book in 2002, I don't like to call it good because they both have positives with them. But for the sake of this time together, let's just look at the HDL as the good guy, because it does help take cholesterol that's not doing anything and that's floating in your blood, and it gets it back to the liver so your liver can do what it needs to do. LDL, we'll get back to that to another place, but HDL is our friend. Now, there's high risk, okay, or health risk of low HDL, and I'm going to show you that what it looks like inside of a lab report. So if you have time right now, if you can be listening to me, or you can come back and watch the repeat or pause it or whatever when it's not live, if you're catching it live, and get your lab workout so you can follow along, because I'm going to give you an opportunity to tap into some information about your health based on your HDL. And then, and you can look around the internet, you're not going to see anybody giving you real steps on how to increase your HDL. They're not. I mean, I should write a book like tomorrow and get it out there because of what I have seen. And the more you understand this, or the better I communicate it, the more you're going to be like, oh my God, this is amazing. Okay. Everybody is going to benefit from what I'm sharing. Everybody. Okay. Because what I'm sharing is statistically significant. Now, when you look at health risk of low HDL, if you get your lab workout, if it's under 40, okay, we got to do something about that. You want to take that seriously. So let me share with you why. Now, I don't know if you can see this. If you're on your TV, you could. Maybe you can turn your camera so it's side. You can read it a little bit better, but I'm going to read exactly what we have up here. It says, number one, increased risk of heart disease and stroke when your HDL is under 40. HDL, as I mentioned earlier, helps to clear LDL, the bad cholesterol, some of it, from the arteries. Okay, but number one, I don't want to increase risk of heart disease, and I know you don't either. I don't want to increase risk of stroke, especially those of us out there who are like in the 40s and 50s and 60s. I don't know if you've been paying attention on Facebook, but a lot of people are getting blood clots and strokes, and we're losing them. So I want to reduce the likelihood of that happening, right? So we got to get the HDL up. So the first thing is look at your HDL and see if it's under 40. Okay, number two, higher risk of insulin resistance. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but that ties into type 2 diabetes. So if you're not a type 2 diabetic and you don't want to be, you want to increase your HDL. If you don't want insulin resistance, which I'll explain what that is, that's not a good thing. You want to increase your HDL. So having a high HDL is important. And again, let me say it again. I'm going to repeat this many times. You're like, okay, well, my doctor has not mentioned that, because there's no clear path on how to increase the HDL. There are people living with a very low HDL. And I'm telling you right now, there are people right now listening to me right now. I can see who you are. I see you on here. And you guys can mention on YouTube or LinkedIn, wherever you are. You can say, Robert is telling the truth. My HDL is low, and my doctor has never told me exactly what to do to increase it. Never. But today is a different day. Today is a new day. I'm going to tell you exactly, because I have seen it 100%, how to increase your HDL. Can't wait to get there. Okay, let's go to number three. Okay, now if my head gets in the way, I'm going to, you know what, let me shift that around. So I hope you guys can see this okay. And if you can't, just let me know. Also, I don't see my banner thing up there. Like, what's going on here? What is going on, people? Let me add, there we go. I want Diet Free Life in the corner. Make that look nice. Okay. Number three, if your HDL is low, you tend to have higher triglycerides, which leads to a poor lipid profile. And we've all heard, and if you haven't, you're probably 20-something years old. You don't want high triglycerides. You want low triglycerides, okay? We want them under 150 at least. But if your HDL is low, then you're probably going to have high HDL. So if you increase your HDL, then if you notice, everything starts to come into balance by increasing your HDL. But again, nobody's talking about it because they don't know exactly what to tell you what to do to get a better outcome. But I am going to tell you what to do, and I'm willing to bet on it. I will bet anybody. You can reach, if you're my client, I'll bet you that your HDL goes up, and it's going to go up significantly. Okay, when you have a low HDL, you have increased inflammation and oxidative stress. That is the foundation, the root cause for many of the chronic illnesses people are experiencing right now. That's why, how can you hear what I'm sharing with you and do nothing about it? You want to increase your HDL because you don't want oxidative stress. You don't want inflammation in the body. That's why I said this is one of the most important talks I've ever shared on YouTube. One of them, I mean, top 10 easily. Because one, I'm proud that I get to bring awareness to you, and I then get to tell you what to do. Most of the time, people will tell you where the problem is and don't give you a solution. They don't give you a blueprint or action steps. I'm not going to do that. We're not gaslighting. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. But it helps to understand the importance of having a low HDL and increasing your HDL. Some of you have kids, and I'm seeing it whether you go to bed at night and don't wake up. Daddy doesn't wake up. Mommy doesn't wake up. I mean, it's messed up. And there's a simple way to fix that. Okay. It's a simple way to increase your HDL, which is a major player. It's mind blowing to me. Okay. That was number 4. Number 5 at the very bottom says greater risk of fatty liver disease. All right. If we talk about fatty liver, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, 1975, not one adult had it. 1979, we can argue it, but they still said that no one was diagnosed with non-alcoholic fatty disease. Today, as I'm sharing this live, 2025, 45% of adults have non-alcoholic fatty liver. That means you go to work tomorrow and there's 10 people in the office. 5 of them have non-alcoholic fatty liver. We're running out of liver transplants because when they get the liver, it's fatty. And so it's reduced the opportunity of helping people who need a transplant. This is extremely serious. And you don't hear people talking about it. But if you talk to your doctor, I guarantee you they'll be like, yep, non-alcoholic fatty liver is really, really bad. Well, HDL cholesterol plays a big role in all of that. Increase your HDL. Okay. 2 more. Number 6, poor endothelial function. Okay. We're talking about your HDL supports blood vessel flexibility, because you'll hear restriction, and that is the leader to strokes and all that. We want suppleness. We want flexibility. So increasing your HDL is good. For those of you who have low HDL, take this serious because it's something that can be corrected. You can increase your HDL. And for those of you who don't have your lab work, keep looking for your lab work so you can be a part of this. Okay. And number 7, now this is one where I had to take a break and have a sip of my tea. When you have low HDL cholesterol, which we've talked about, that's a big part of this. You have increased risk of mortality. That means death. I don't want to die. I mean, I know I got to go eventually, but why go out early? And some of you know people recently that have died. And if you have their lab work, let's say they're a family, look at their lab work. I would be willing to bet you that they had low HDL cholesterol. And again, all of this being said, it's not the doctor's fault. It is on your lab work. You'll see if it's low, there'll be a red flag. It'll be red. But they don't have anything to tell you because they don't know how to help you increase it. The main thing that you'll hear is exercise. And a lot of people who exercise a lot get out of breath, so exercising is a shield. There's a lot of people that exercise. And as soon as they stop, if they ever stop their exercise, all of what benefits they're getting and why they're not having health problems is coming to a screeching halt. The data is very clear. I see them all the time. They look great on the outside, but we lose a lot of them early too. Okay. All right. So now we know that low HDL is not a good thing. So now let's have some fun. Okay. So this is one of my clients. It's Susie. She's actually a coach and she helps a lot of people and she is a great person. She doesn't mind me mentioning her name, so I'm going to mention it. So let me show you. So look, okay, let me see. All right, there you go. So she wasn't under 40, but Susie was on a mission to increase her HDL cholesterol. She knew that the higher the HDL cholesterol, the better it would be for her health. Now, if you look at the bottom, right, when you go down to the very bottom, it says July 8th, 2015. Her HDL was 44. And then you go up 5 years later, it's 46. You go the next year, it's 49. 3 years after that, it's 46. So we could say that she averaged 46. But she knows that better health, reduced risk of stroke, heart attack, all the negatives that we are talking about, comes with higher HDL numbers. So I introduced Susie to a protocol that I'm going to share with you guys tonight, okay, or in this video. Then in less than 6 months, she went from averaging 46 on her HDL. That's why I had to start off the way I started off, you guys. It's important that you understand. And if you have questions, you can post them and I'll answer. And if I miss them, then if you know me, email me, text me, like reach out, message me, and I'll get back to you. I can tell you that if you're 110 HDL, that's not good. So let's say 100 is the top of the ceiling. And if you're walking around at 60, 65, 70, oh, you're rocking and rolling. 80, I mean, you're killing. You're rocking. Great place to be. So Susie goes with a protocol, okay, that I'm going to share with you. And 6 months later, you can see it. She goes to 62. Now, keep in mind, she's done everything to increase her HDL. She has done everything. And she's a nutritionist. She implemented one thing. And it's not just Susie. I have 32 clients, and I'm counting even more. They did one thing. And all of them, we have seen all of them increase their HDL significantly. Now, I'm going to show you one that's kind of scary because this protocol, their HDL we don't know if it went up, and it's not good. And in my opinion, I feel like that person's alive because of the protocol. Seriously. I say that from the bottom of my heart. Okay. Unless the American Heart Association, the National Institute of Health, like if everybody's a liar, and I don't think they're a liar, the data is very clear. There's thousands of published papers on this. So for her to go from 46 to 62, hey, God bless. Congratulations, Susie. Well deserved. You did good. Average again, 40. Look at that 16-point change. You do not see that. I'm telling you, I taught the seven of my physician friends today, and I shared it. They were like, what? They're like, show me. So now I'm going to redact all of their lab work so that they can't see who they are, keeping it HIPAA compliant, because they're blown away. And as we're getting ready to do this amazing clinical trial, randomized, placebo-controlled randomized trial. This is going to be part of that trial. So I have a protocol. You can't make this up. I'm telling you, if what I'm saying is true, which is true, everybody like if you know someone that you care about and you don't share this video with them, what do you call that? Like, do you not care about them? Like, some people just don't care. They don't. Or sometimes I think that we're willfully ignorant. I think some people are just stupid. And when I say they're stupid, stupid to me are people who know better, but they still decide not to do anything about it and just keep it quiet. Right? Like when I was around Jack LaLanne, and I consider him a mentor at one point in my life, who's no longer with us, but he's amazing. He wouldn't keep this a secret. When I was around Dick Gregory, who's no longer with us, and I shared this with him in the data, he would not keep this a secret. So all the people and there's a lot of them on high blood pressure medication, a lot of people walking around have no idea if tonight's the last night. And then everybody seems surprised when they find out they died. I can't believe it. I mean, come on. I'm sharing with you the truth here. The truth. This can help you. So I tell people, get out of your feelings and let's share the information so we can educate some people and help them. Okay. Let's keep moving there, Mr. Robert Ferguson. So here's another one. So if you look over there to the left, this is one of my clients. And well, I can say her first name. Her name is Sylvia. So Sylvia shared with me her data. No one knows who Sylvia is. So Sylvia, don't get upset that I mentioned your name. Okay. I don't have your name, your last name. No one can identify that this is you. But you can see that her HDL cholesterol is 64. That's actually pretty good. That's good. Right? Same as where Susie is now. That's awesome. Put her on the protocol. Look over to the right. She's now 77. That's 13 points. When you see the HDLs go up with every one of your clients, when their doctors and no one else can tell them how to get it to go up, and you watch Susie tried for 15 years to increase her HDL and nothing was working, it would be a sin for me not to share this with everybody. It would. There are nurses. I know you know a lot. Wake up. You need to start sharing this with people. It saddens me if we keep this a secret. Now, some people would keep it a secret and not share because they don't understand the real role of HDL cholesterol, because so many people and doctors are only talking about LDL. You want to increase your HDL if you can. Now we have a protocol that is helping with that. So out of my 32 clients, what we saw, and this is inside of only 6 months. Like if you increase your HDL in a year by 2 points, that's impressive. We saw on average 8 points. Actually, no one was less than 8 points. Then you go, well, how old were they? 39 to 74. Everybody. Usually when you mature in life, the chances of getting your HDL to go up is not good. Why is that? It's because everybody relies on exercise activity to increase the HDL. That's why you don't see it go up as much with more mature people. Now we have something that can help somebody who's 68, who doesn't have to go out there and work out every day, running stadiums, lifting weights, etc. And we're able to see these types of improvements. Man, come on. All right, so let me show you guys this one. Okay, we're almost done, and I do have an assignment. I hope you guys have your lab work. Okay, but I have something for you to write down because it's going to help you. Okay, I have something that's going to help you. All right, so if you can't see this, it says 26 for HDL. So this is one of my buddies, good-looking guy, 41 years old, got the world in front of him, rocking and rolling. Okay, that's low. That's a very low HDL. So all the things I mentioned in the beginning, he's at risk for. Okay. I don't want to be at risk. You know what I mean? Like if I get hit by a car, okay, that's one thing. Plane goes down, okay. But to be walking around living life knowing that I have a low HDL, like 26, I'm like, okay, well, what can I do? And again, I talked to him. His doctors, they didn't focus on that. And I'm like, no, we got to get that up. And now we have a protocol to help with that. Now, I'm also going to highlight and share something with you guys. You have his triglycerides, which are 506. That's high. Now, I've had clients literally call me from the hospital that had triglycerides over 5,000. Yeah, you heard me right. And I helped them. And they're still my clients. So we can get the triglycerides down if you're still alive. 500, it doesn't make me panic. It's not good, but that's not the panic. I'm more panicked over a low HDL. Okay. But I'm going to share something with you guys, and I want you to remember, and all my coaches, any of my coaches who are on here, if you're in your training and you haven't learned this yet, this is a chance for you to learn this. Because we're going to talk about insulin resistance, which is a precursor for everything from high blood pressure, erectile dysfunction, PCOS, and the list goes on and on and on. It's called insulin resistance. And there's levels of insulin resistance. We have an in-house tool called the carb threshold score, where I can take your information and I can tell you what your score is. And then from there, we start to improve your score. Because if the score is under 60 with our in-house tool, then you have insulin resistance. Now, a quick and easy way to discover if a person has insulin resistance, which makes many things more difficult, then you take their triglycerides, make sure it's fasting triglycerides, and you divide it by the HDL. So using the lab work I just showed you, okay, so let's go back to the lab work. Let me show you. That lab work, the triglycerides were 506. The HDL cholesterol is 26. When you divide that, we get 19.4. Now, right now, you're like, okay, well, what does that mean? I'm going to explain. Okay. If you look underneath that, if you can see that, so let me make this as big as possible. If you're Asian and it's over 1.0, that's insulin resistance. If you're Caucasian and it's 1.5 or higher, that's insulin resistance. If you're Black or Hispanic and it's 2.0 or higher, that's insulin resistance. The lab work here for all people, that's insulin resistance at a very high level. This is extremely alarming. Okay, very alarming. Now, your doctor doesn't go over this because they don't focus on insulin resistance, even though that's the biggest and fastest growing, one of the most important things we need to start looking at. But they haven't caught up to it. Most of them will nod and go, yeah. Some of them will do your fasting insulin. But when you do this ratio and you're above those numbers that I just mentioned, you have insulin resistance. So all of you can get your lab work, look at your triglycerides. Hopefully it was fasting, divided by your HDL cholesterol. And if it's over the numbers down there, you have insulin resistance. Now, when you discover, most of you, that you have insulin resistance, don't panic, because you can reverse it. And you want to reverse it because it's a precursor to many health problems. So, for instance, if you have a mom that's a type 2 diabetic, before she was a type 2 diabetic, for 10, maybe 15, 20 years, she had insulin resistance, or she was insulin resistant before she was type 2 diabetic. So for all those years, she was experiencing something called hyperinsulinemia, meaning she had elevated insulin. And you would say, well, why wouldn't she have known that? No, the doctors don't test for that. Share this video with your doctor and they'll say, no, we don't test for that. And they may have 1,000 reasons why they don't, but when they look into it, they're going to go, ooh, maybe I should. And I've helped get many physicians over the last 10 years to wake up to this reality. Thank God that they're open to it. And now they test for it. So your doctor can test. Now, they have to come up with a cool way or a way to get the insurance to pay for the test, because that's one of the biggest challenges, is that they don't pay for it. But look at your lab work and do these numbers. And if you are looking for a coach, I'm available, and I have other coaches. I don't know why people would put this stuff. Don't put this off. This is important. And all you dietitians and nutritionists and doctors and health coaches out there aren't teaching these kind of things. I mean, you should consider getting with us. because for the most part, all of our coaches that become certified with me are way more ahead than all these other programs out there. Plus, a lot of these programs, they don't have a methodology. There's no method to the madness. It's just more information. And we're always looking for more coaches. Okay. All right. Now, here's a snapshot of what we mean by insulin resistance. If you want to help yourself when it comes to insulin resistance, the key is to eat in a way where you have least amount of insulin circulating in your body. And a lot of that is easily dictated not by the glycemic index, not by sugar. It's more about how close the food is to nature. So for instance, if you ate an apple, you're going to get less insulin circulating in your body compared to if you ate an apple pie at McDonald's. Now, remember, this is a slow, progressive thing, right? So let's say you're 48 and now they're telling you your blood pressure is starting to get up there and they want you to get on some blood pressure medications. You had elevated insulin for a good amount of time. Now you're at the point where the insulin resistance is real. And as a result, you got to take some medications. And it's sad that we get into that situation, but that's the truth. I mean, I love what I do, man. I love because we're changing the game. And here's what we recommend. So if you say, well, Robert, what's the protocol? All 32 of my clients who increase their HDL in less than 6 months started using a product that I endorse. It's called Balance Oil. It's a combination of omega-3s, because you may be thinking, I'm taking an omega-3. No. Omega-3s and polyphenols. And the reason why we know that this one works compared to all the other omegas out there is, one, they don't have polyphenols. And two, they're not test-based. So I learned a long time ago in business that if you want certain outcomes, do what someone else has done to get that same outcome. Why would you try to do something else? I'm going to go to Walmart and buy it. It's not going to be the same. Do what Susie did. Do what Sylvia did. Do what all my clients are doing to see their HDLs go up. Now, you could say, all right, is there a way to do this without a supplement? Yeah. I think you can give it a good shot. What would you do? Well, you want to eat a lot of fish. Okay. A lot of omega-3 fatty fish. I would say make sure you're eating tuna, salmon, crappie, one of my favorites in the summertime when I go back to Indiana. I can't wait. Okay. Eat fish that is fatty, that has a good amount of omega-3s in it. And make sure you're eating it at least once a day and one of your 3 meals, if not twice a day. Snack on sardines. Okay, I'm just telling you how you can do it without taking a supplement. And then you got to get the polyphenols. So with the polyphenols, a lot of berries, turmeric, glass of wine. That probably sounds good because it has resveratrol in it. That's a polyphenol. So get in your polyphenols, maybe eat some chocolate, right? There's some polyphenols there. And do it in a way where you're not consuming too many omega-6 fatty acids, like seed oils. So you got to watch those. And then 4 months later, you got to still do the tests, right? So we can make available a test to you. You do the test and then you can see. Or you can just wait on your doctor and look at the lab work. And I believe if you implemented a lot of those techniques, you would probably see your HDL go up. I do believe that, but that's a lot. And make sure you have the budget to pay for all that. Or with this product, it's $43 a month at this moment in time as I do this live. Because 6 months ago it was $42. So it could go up $1. I don't want anybody to get mad if you watch this video later and it's $49. But if it was $49, it's still competitive with all the other ones out there and it works better. and you're going to see the increase with your HDL cholesterol. So if you know me, text me, email me. Let's get you on the protocol, because your life, your health, your quality of life. Some of you guys have had heart attacks recently. Some of you have had strokes. Some of you are concerned that that may happen. And you're put, I mean, I can't, like, I know I have a few people that are married to some people that their health is on the line. And the only reason why they're not using this protocol with the balance oil is because they are not informed. They're not dumb. They're smart people. They're just not informed. So once you become informed, right, and you see the data, if you watch this video and you believe me at all, just even a little bit, go do your own due diligence, is worth 4 months of your time. And then you'll see. And when that HDL is going up, you know that your health is getting better. Not just focused on the LDL and how bad, and your doctor will put you on a statin, all of that stuff. Hey, doc, tell your doctor, doc, I know how I can increase my HDL. And what is your doctor going to say? What is he going to say, or she? Woo. Now I'm going to check and see if I have any questions, because I shared a lot of information, I know, and I appreciate you guys sticking with me, who stuck with me. I know we had Anna in the house. What's up, Anna? Sheila Cruz. I'm glad you were able to be here, Sheila. Sheila, coach, we're getting ready to get back at it. We're going to go for it. Linda Jackson. What's up, Linda? Michael's in the house. Let's see here. Sheila's in the house. We got Media Source in the house. Charlotte's in the house. All right. We had a good, hey, thank you guys. So now you know. So if you said, okay, Robert, what is the take home? The take home, because we'll do LDLs in another day. That goes way more deep. There's more to it. It's very difficult. But you now have heard someone say what you can do to improve your HDLs. The other thing I didn't mention that I've seen improve someone's HDL cholesterol is eating steak like once a week. I'm just telling you what I've seen. So sometimes when people aren't eating much meat, or I'll test vegans or vegetarians, they're, well, not vegetarians, mostly vegans, their HDLs are usually low. And that's why you'll hear about people who are vegan that died suddenly. And you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I mean, it can happen to any of us. But this whole sharing today, this presentation is based on reducing your risks. And I share with you where all of the data is coming from. So 7 very respected leading sources, right? From the American Heart Association, which I'm not in full agreement with everything, but they do back up everything I've shared today. They probably don't know about the balance oil, but they could. And they can't endorse products, by the way. The National Institute of Health, and the list goes on and on. And I have 32 of my own clients who have given me their lab work, who the only thing they changed in their life was they started taking the balance oil. And 6 months later, inside of 6 months, all of them, their HDL went up. If you went to your doctor, and I'm about to close, and you told your doctor, I increased my HDL, let me bring this back up, using this product by 8 points in 4 months, your doctor will be like, wow. Now it'll be new to them. And if they see it again, and maybe a third or fourth or fifth time, that doctor is going to want to be in this business. They're going to want to be a part. They're going to want to be a partner, unless they're a doctor that don't give 2 cents. And most doctors that I meet, when they see something that works and is consistent, like I'm putting together for my friends who are physicians, and they can see the lab work, they can see the dates, because you can't make this up. The only thing that they don't know 1,000% if that was true, 1,000, is it wasn't a controlled trial where they, you know what I mean? Like, this is their lab work that each person gave me, and they're all over the United States. Now, I know my people aren't lying. Why would they send me fake lab work with dates from doctors? So I know it's real. So the only thing next would be like a real hardcore, like randomized, placebo-controlled, over-the-top trial. And sometimes even people don't believe those, because they're like, well, they weren't locked in a room and we kept them locked up where they couldn't go anywhere. And who knows what all those people did differently. It doesn't work like that. And for those of you who know me, you know, I ain't never seen nothing that works this well. And my only regret, or not regret, but the saddest part about it is, how do I get people to know about it? Even people that I know, their first thing is, well, are you trying to sell me something? It's like, I'm like, it does cost money. I may make $4 if you buy it from me. But I know it can help you. I'm sorry that I'll make $4. I don't know. It's not about selling. I mean, I've sold products independently for years. This is the least amount of money I've ever made in selling a product. I mean, $4 ain't changing much, you know. But I cannot be silent about it either. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm going to bring this up and I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to answer any last questions you guys have. Okay, let me see here. My man, look at Michael. This is one of my good buddies. He says, man, I feel like you're talking directly to me. Great info. Michael's a smart dude. I think the world of him. Okay, and then we got Katrina. Katrina is awesome. I owe her a call, Katrina. I will be checking you out. I hope you watch this whole presentation, because it'll help us in our conversation. Any other questions, you guys? Any other questions? Any other questions? You guys, so we feel like we understand HDL cholesterol? All right, so now you should get in touch with me so you can make the protocol available to other people, or share the video with people that you actually love and care about, that you know want improved quality of life. Don't keep it away from them. Everyone benefits from increased HDL. Everybody, okay? Everybody. I share with you the data. I went step by step by step. I showed you proof with like some of my clients. I can put you on the phone with them. This is as real as it gets. This is not taking something you see on an infomercial late at night and hoping it works. But none of this makes any sense if you don't understand the role of HDL cholesterol. That's the big, it's a knowledge gap, right? So that means if it's a knowledge gap, it's an understanding gap. But if you went to your doctor and you share with them what you've learned about HDL cholesterol, and you print out the article that I made available, you can go to the description, wherever you're catching this, print it out, take it to your doctor. They're not going to push back on what HDL cholesterol is and the importance of increasing it. They're going to be like, yeah, absolutely. But if you tell them, hey, I met this guy named Robert Ferguson, he's a nutritionist, and he says inside of 6 months, his clients are increasing their HDL cholesterol by like on average 8 points, some up to 16. They're gonna question that a little bit, seriously, because that's how amazing that increase is. Now, I know I can't say for everyone, but I randomly grabbed 32 of my clients who I had their lab work before and after, and I'm just sharing it. I'm not going to keep something that's important a secret. So anyway, all right, Sheila, I'll see you very soon. And for everybody else, I'm going to say God bless. Thank you for listening. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe. If you hit the like, is helping us. I am getting it organized. We're going to be reaching more and more people. But at the end of the day, whether you got this product or not, I want you to know the importance of your HDL. Look at your lab work, see where it is. If you're not exercising, start exercising. That will definitely help. If you're not eating meat and you're open to it, eat meat at least once a week. That could help. Grass-fed meat would be ideal. Eat more fish, fatty fish if you can. All of that helps, and stay away from those seed oils. I have this thing called the Terrible 10. I'll make that available. I have a link for my newsletter, which is free. I share information, recipes, all of that stuff. Take advantage of all the free stuff so that you become informed. And when you're informed, you rock and roll. My favorite book says that my people perish for the lack of knowledge. And I'm seeing that when it comes to health on a day-to-day basis. All right, you guys, I love you. Until the next one, I got to go.
There's a new way to see. No more counting calories, just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see you through.